2, which I have not streamed, and I haven't played in probably 10 or 12 years at least. So I kind of want to get to that one. Plus, I want to do Dark Forces on the Force Engine, because that's just cool. Where the hell did my mouse go? Can you try? Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. That's not too loud, is it? You must be a moderator. You are a moderator. What? Why? Hang on a second. It is for bats. Oh, well, in that case, then I'll be leaving it right where it is. I can't see! Oh, wait, no, that's Mike's command. Hang on a second. I need to get that from him. It's listing you, Pi, it's listing you as a moderator in Mix It Up. Just do it manually. Did I do it wrong? I mean, it should be right. You're not an editor if you have editor privileges. Oh, wait a minute. You know what, Pi? Hang on a second. Let me fix something. Yeah, oh yeah, no, I get it. Hang on a second. Yep, okay, that's what it is. Hang on a second, Pi, I got you. Yeah, Echo did it. So I only have 3 people now who are editors. You're one of them. Hi, you're one of the 3. So you'll have a little more visibility over content and whatnot in my dashboard, and you should be able to do it now. Nothing major. Like, don't worry, you're not going to do like Ari and accidentally break the chat or something. What's this button do? Click. Oh crap! We were on fire and I missed it.
We got a fire on our hands.
Oh, you know the editor. I figured you did. It's not like you don't stream or anything. Tell you one thing. Iced tea is good when your sinuses are burning. So for the sound clip thing, I've had enough points and I have clipped together a small thing from Day of the Tentacle. How can I send the clip if I can? So Peter, if you're on my Discord and you have a custom sound that you have made that you'd like to have considered, you can actually just post it directly in my Discord. There is I forget what the exact, yeah, there you go. Otherwise, if you want to use the sound command channel point redeem and just use it to leave a note on my Discord, if you don't want to do Discord or you don't have Discord or whatever, that's fine. That's kind of what this channel point command is for. You can leave a note on my Discord so that I can remember to go and pull it, and then just DM me the sound command that you want, the sound file, or link to, or whatever. I prefer the actual file itself over a link for lots of reasons, but there is a Maybug that flew so hard against your window just now, it completely screwed itself and can't get up on the windowsill anymore. So epic. I was driving to the school to pick up the kiddo a couple weeks ago, and I was doing about 50 miles an hour on the highway. It was just 50 miles an hour on that little stretch just before we get to the school. And the windows were down on the car I was driving. It's the old Nissan, and the AC doesn't work, and, well, it's hot here. So the windows are down, and all of a sudden, I hear this loud click. And then I felt something hit me in the head. And I'm like, what the heck was that? And I look down next to me between the door and the seat, and there's a hornet about this big.
It's a raid
and he's just laying there
Shorty
going,
Straw. Let's all give them a warm welcome.
like, I don't know what to do. Shorty Straw? didn't even hear the music. Welcome in. Needless to say, epic. I was like watching him because I'm like, he's stunned. I mean, he's gonna get up any moment now, and he's gonna be mad. He's gonna be so mad when he gets up. And so I finally get to the school, and he's still down there writhing on the floor. And I'm like opening the door, trying to scrape him out with like an umbrella or something like that. Doesn't seem like I can upload any files. Ooh, might be too big. Hang on. Yay! How's it going, Shorty Star? How was your stream? I was just talking about you streaming. You're not supposed to end yet. Hang on a second there. Oh, you think that hornet nailed something to your head? It hit me in the head. It bounced off the wall. It hit me in the head. It just went flying up against the B pillar, just smack, and bounced off of it, ricocheted off my head and onto the floor. Oh, I'll remember that echo. Yeah, beat Fallout 2. I'm a little embarrassed. I can't even get past the beginning of Fallout 2 yet. Is that a stop sign for hornets? Basically. Voodoo. Hey, Adventure Josh, how you doing? Kiddo eventually watching out the window at her school and just sees her dad pouring petrol all over the car. What are you doing? I'm going to burn the car down. Why? Because there's a giant hornet in the seat and I don't want it there anymore. All right, valid reason. Here's the light. Here's the lighter. Let's see here. So let's see. Sound clips. Peter Steve. Oh,
you were amazing.
Rev Brown. Thank you so much for gifting that sub to Shorty Straw. Enjoy your ad-free experience. And you watched. Oh, you reached 200 followers. Nice. Which is a shocking milestone, in my opinion. It really is. And it doesn't matter how many follows you have. It always seems to be just a slow progression. Pardon me. All while making that face. It was more like... I mean, the Hornet was huge. So, yeah, let's see. Doesn't seem like you can add files... Wait, you should be able to. Yeah, DM me is fine. DM me is fine. Yeah. That'd be all right. Tell you what we're gonna do here. I love this music, actually. It's actually really cool. On it. Thank you. All right, let's do a restore on this and see where we are. Get Mosley in box. That's right. That's right. Okay. Thank you. That helps a lot. Sasha, welcome in. That's what you thought, and here I am. You never thought you'd go over 60. Wait, what? Oh, wait. Never go over 60. Oh, 60 followers. Gotcha. I'm not sure what happened, Peter. It might have just taken a moment for it to register. You know what? I bet I know why, Peter. It probably took Yagsbot or whatever a moment to assign the proper vault dweller role. It might not have happened right away. Okay. I don't know where the exit is. Is that the exit? Can we go here? Oh, you assigned him the role. Weird. Very weird. Okay, so we need to go to the police department. 60 what? Sausages? Every math teacher when you don't specify a unit. This official sounding music while you're in the police department. The one thing that is consistent, God help me, the one thing that's consistent to me with the various, he just wants to keep talking, the various Gabriel or Sierra titles is that the art's almost always top-notch and the music is also always top-notch. Oh, he's going to get up and leave in a second. Oh no, Shorty Straw, your internet crashed. Are you sure it's yours and not mine? Hey, Sir Citizen, good to see you. I'm hoping that now that he's taken his jacket off, he'll get up and leave. Well, he's not complaining now. I wonder if I can... You know what? Hang on a second. Oh, the router rebooted automatically. On purpose? Sierra game? Like Jagged Alliance Sierra? I mean, I say mostly. Not all of it. 100%, but, you know, most of it. How you were wearing your internet seatbelt. Let's see. So we're going to try and tinker with this. Oh, I guess either I've soft locked or it doesn't care. And I don't need it. Hey, Gregor. We'll just talk about you some more now that you're here. Hi. And literally 5 minutes after you end it, hey, good timing, right? It's like, he's done using me now. Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink. Do I know what's coming? Work tomorrow.
You mean the latest masterpiece of fantasy storytelling from Lucas
Discussion of
Brian
Loom.
Moriarty? Why, it's an extraordinary adventure with an interface of magic. Stunning high-resolution, 3D landscapes, sophisticated score and musical effects. Not to mention the detailed animation and special effects. Elegant point in click control of characters, objects, and magic spells. Beat the rush. Go out and buy Loom today.
Sorry about that. I always... the funny thing is that MIDI between the two systems that I play through are substantially different in the volume that they're coming out. Sorry about that. So I can't get him to go get me more coffee. Okay. Let's see. Supposedly we've got to get something off of this. You need an on-screen LUFS meter. I'm just going to go with, okay. What is a LUFS? LUFS, L-U-F-S. Do I look like one of them fancy Apple using graphics artist type people? How am I doing? I'm making it, I guess. Wonderful evening. You're here for a minute while falling asleep. Well, fall asleep then. I mean, what is it? God, it's got to be 10:30 there. Yeah, it's got to be 10:30 there. Is that right?
Gabriel doesn't see anything of interest.
Oh, you should know the your audio terms. I just call them VU meters. That's all I got. 11:30. 23:30. Okay. That was only an hour off, you know. So for the most part, yeah, what I usually use is, because this comes in through two different channels, or two different sets of channels. So MIDI is coming through on one channel, and the actual digital sound that you hear, like that, comes in on a different channel. And I think I actually lowered the wrong volume, so that was on me.
Gabriel would prefer to touch a little of Moses. Gabriel.
Supposedly there's an inbox around here. Is it outside maybe? She is still a little low. Yeah, see, I grabbed the wrong volume is what it was. So let's see.
She probably wouldn't cooperate.
Is that better? And I'll bring the MIDI down just a smidge more. Make sure the volumes here. Yeah, those are all maxed out. Better. All right. Yeah, that's what it was. My brain's not 100%, you know. I'm still working it out.
Gabriel scans the bulletin. It's a
filing cabinet.
It's an inbox.
Oops. Can we grab what's in this inbox?
That doesn't seem to be removed.
I don't want to remove it. What, he didn't say mostly, my man? Oh, yeah, it's funny. You came on right. It came right on time. You talked about... Of course we did. We talked about you.
Dang,
mainly because I was playing
Disney
Lands of
must be on the
Lore, and
blink.
somebody had mentioned...
Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
to see somebody else play it for the for a change, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I never played it before. I'd never even known about it. I think you were the person who actually said something about it that put me onto it. And then I saw, I think Mike play it for the first time I ever saw the game. Yeah, all those old automated for the mixing boards. That's pretty interesting. Nowadays, it's just all digital. They don't even bother with the hardware much. You missed Lands of Lore? Yeah, we started it Sunday.
Mosley's desk has more groin on it than on his head.
So, supposedly there is an inbox of his stuff, and that was what got me stuck. We couldn't get past day 2. Let's see. Traumatized by Lands of Lore. I've been poisoned. I've been poisoned. I've been poisoned. Let's see. You love it. I even heard the famous line, I am Bacata, Dawn's apprentice. I'm going to be honest. I'm sitting here looking at the... yeah, I didn't hear him. The acid has burned my armor. Yeah, that one, and which I experienced numerous times, and that was really annoying. Master of being poisoned over and over.
A piece of coal broke off.
Let's see. So I am looking at a walkthrough for day 2. I think we're on day 2. Because I got
It
stuck.
doesn't appear as any more coal can be broken off.
And I can't figure out exactly what it was that I was missing. And at the very last minute, I realized
50 butts, oh boy.
there were 50 butts. Oh, boy. Thank you. Hello, Master Gregor. Master Gregor. Master Gregor. TTS is broken again. Thank you, Mix It Up. I have no idea why or how to fix that. It's just, it's kind of on and off. It'll work sometimes, and then other times it doesn't. Thank you for the 50 bits. You'll be honest, I'm sitting here brokenhearted. Came to stream, but only farted. Wait. But yeah, so apparently... everybody's favorite new sound command. So let's see. Read the newspaper to go to the police station. We've done that. Talk to the desk sergeant about Mosley. Operate the temperature. We've done that. Move the temp to 75. We've done that. Enter Mosley's office. Ask for coffee. Use hand on jacket. Go to Jackson Square. We've done all that. We've done the whole thing at Jackson Square.
What's that smell?
And got the painting. Turned the painting in. Use 6 pounds. Oh! Wait a minute.
Stop talking, go to jail.
Can I ask you about some stuff? You're the writer. Ask away.
Okay, so there's nothing here. It's supposed to be a thing about patterns. This is from day 1, and apparently I never did that. So it looks like... Yeah, I think I missed a couple things in day one. And I don't see where this inbox is. I'm so confused. Schottenjäger is German for shadow hunters. I swear I remember seeing that somewhere.
Cheer 28, I emptied my bits bag, plus I found these in the couch.
Thank you. And finally TTS works. Why is TTS working now? That doesn't make any sense. Thank you for the 28 bits, and you empty your bits into bit. Thank you. I appreciate that, Pi. Get the file from the box, use photo. Okay, this is what I was missing. Ask Desk Sergeant about Mosley. Use open icon on Mosley's door. Ask him about patterns. What patterns? It never gave me the option. Talk to the woman, get file choice, look at the file in inventory, put the file in her box. So this is what I've missed, somehow or another.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Schottenjäger?
Not
A
since
shot of
last
Jaeger.
time you asked.
TTS has been poisoned. TTS has been poisoned. TTS has been poisoned. Thank you for the 70 bits, Rev Brown. Do you need to show Mosley the drawing? Do I? Do I have a drawing? Hang on a second. I do have... Maybe that's what it is. The walkthrough...
I found these strange symbols on Marie Laveau's tomb at St. Louis Cemetery number 1.
I'm sure any extra voodoo stuff you dig up will make an interesting story, Knight, but I'd rather stick with the case at hand, personally.
I have so completely botched the playthrough of this game that at this point, I feel the best I can do is just basically guess.
I have that photo of you graduating from the police academy.
Oh, that's not the right one.
Yeah, my mom loves that one.
Gregor, I'm not really sure exactly what happened there. I don't know. The TTS is really flaky. It's sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Now, the other thing that's a concern is I don't think the 70 bits went off like it was supposed to anyway, because that one should trigger. That one should trigger... Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't move everything over. I thought I moved everything over. Hang on a second. The 70 bits should have triggered... Oh no, I bet I deleted it. Son of a gun, I'm going to have to recreate it. Oh no! Oh boy. I was trying to fix it all up and I thought I copied it over and I did not. That's why it didn't go off. Oh boy. Oh me. That's not your fault. It's my fault. I was not. You know what? Hang on a second. I think I can fix this real quick, because now I want to. I feel like I have led you down the wrong path. So
Round 2.
and there we go. And we need that. We'll go grab this over here. I'm sure you're just absolutely certain what I'm talking about here. Hey, my name is Mike. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Infection. Oh, crap. Yeah, it's my infection. Well, that's probably it. I mean, it's been a mess. Oh, wait. Here we go. And How about... Okay, so here, let's see if this works.
70 bits. Oh, boy.
There you go. Sorry about that. Took a little longer than I wanted to recreate it, but I felt guilty that not being there. That was what you missed with the 70 bits. How are you all doing, huh? Welcome in. Since I forgot to add that one. Let's see, we can give him some of this.
I have this.
That's nice, but I'm busy with the real investigation, right?
You look real busy there, mostly. Yeah, real busy, man, real busy.
This is the last.
What is this? I don't remember.
I picked up this scale at Lake Pontchartrain.
Really? Wow, that's a great idea for the book. Me endangering my life investigating at a snake-infested lake. We don't have to mention that it's probably from a harmless local water snake.
Hey, Ossicle, how you doing? Which day are we on? Finland got to the finals in the Eurovision Song Contest. Nice. You got to infect yourself with sleep now. Got to work in 8 hours, but need to get up at 7. Ooh. Gregor, go get some rest. Don't stay awake on anybody's account. Just go get some rest. Thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate it. Sorry for the short visit. Hey, that's fine. It's late where you are. You got work tomorrow. I got work tomorrow.
I have this.
That's nice, but I'm busy with the real investigation, right?
Pretty much. Let's see, what else do we have? So I guess we can give him this snake skin that looks like a colon.
I have this.
That's nice, but I'm busy with the real investigation, right?
All right.
This.
So I'm going to guess, now that we've done that, we can go and talk to her. If the mouse will roll.
Can I ask you a few questions, ma'am?
I'm sorry, sir, but I really have to finish these reports.
So she's not going to talk to me. Can I make copies, perhaps, of this?
There's no reason to photocopy that.
Apparently not. Which still leaves me in the same situation I was in before. What the heck am I supposed to do to get... What am I copying? I know I'm supposed to copy something. I don't get it. Let's see. I suppose they about the photographs. Get the photos and inventory of an envelope. Go to Jackson Square. Okay. Now then, how about we try... Maybe we have different dialogue options with Mosley now? Hey, Sundog, how you doing? He's going to complain he's hot again.
Whew. It's hot in here. Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink. Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
Boy, does he gripe. What about the desk clerk? Have you exhausted... I'm going to try him again on the way out, but just trying to get past day 2, it appeared in the walkthrough that I have to talk to Mosley about 6 patterns, but it doesn't specify.
Ask away.
Gabriel Knight is always hot. But I got nothing here.
What's this?
You're...
I got...
So you...
Nope.
Okay.
Have you ever called the head?
I'd rather...
Yeah. See, I don't... let's ask him about
Do you know
something.
anything about snakes?
The only thing I know about snakes is I don't like them.
I mean, hey, he's honest.
Do you know... Do you know...
Animal masks. You mean like those Halloween masks they
I think we already
sometimes
asked
use in
him about
robberies?
this.
I don't think so. More like real animals.
Real.
Never
animals.
ran across anything like that.
We already asked him about Schottenjäger. So we'll try talking to the desk sergeant again, because the way this is on day 1. We're not even on day 1 anymore, which is what's got me concerned. You was gone again. Oh my goodness, your internet going down? Are you having problems with your router, perhaps? Like maybe some kind of a problem with it, or is it just updating? So the walkthrough for this on day 1, which we're well past at this point, we're almost into day 3. We're like one step away. Cat hair on there. It says, ask the desk sergeant about Mosley. Use the open icon on Mosley's door. Ask him about patterns. What patterns? I guess it's the patterns that we wrote down.
Gabriel should go to the counter.
Oh, jeez, really have to go around the other side. I guess it is the patterns. Oh, wait a minute. I know what patterns it's talking about. That's what I'm missing. That is entirely what I'm missing. And I swear I actually already wrote these down. So we need to go back to the scene of the crime and use the sketchbook on the patterns. So let's get a closer look.
The lines and the line.
Okay, so we don't need to do that, but we do need...
Gabriel's already done the best he...
So where are they? This isn't the lines, is it?
It's Gabriel's sketch.
Okay, from the tomb.
Gabriel looks fondly at his...
Okay, that's what it is. I didn't give him the book. God bless it. That's what I was going to do. Yeah, I just realized I need to give him the notebook. I couldn't remember. I thought it was a separate piece of paper, but they did it inconsistent with the way they did the luck things, the luck drawings on the side of the tomb. All right.
Hey.
We're the monkeys.
Night, I had a feeling you'd show up. Whew, it's hot.
Gotta go through the... Whew, it's hot in here.
Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink.
I'm gonna go lower the AC temperature so that he can stop complaining about it being hot.
Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
There we go. All right, so now that he's finished griping...
I have this.
That's nice, but I'm busy with the real investigation.
So apparently that's not the patterns he wants. So wait a minute. Let's see. Ask him about the 6 patterns. Go to the lobby and talk to the woman officer and get file choice. And select get file choice. Look at the file and inventory. Put the file in her box. Go back to Mosley's office. Question Mosley about photograph, sealed cop author photo, and then I have to go check my hair, get the file from the box. Okay, that's what it is. I don't get it. I don't know if I'm soft locked somehow, if I screwed up and the option is no longer available because I'm in day 2 and I should have done this in day 1. I don't understand what's missing.
I have this.
But he doesn't want that. He's shown interest in this.
I found it.
I'm sure any extra voodoo stuff you dig up will make an interesting story, Knight, but I'd rather...
Gabriel can see. Gabriel. Images haunt. The images haunt the pages of Philip Knight's sketch. The images touch a deep chord in Gabriel.
But this isn't really 6
So
patterns,
familiar
right?
are they
This
that
is
he
just like...
finds it hard to believe.
These are images, not patterns. This looks like patterns, but kind of looks like more than.
Gabriel.
I just realized that it actually has letters now. So there's a riddle here of some kind. What it is, I don't know. Hey, Dick Danza, welcome in. Hey, trespass of the dads. Trespasses of the dads, yeah. I'm gonna work this out later. I'm beginning to think I've somehow managed to soft lock myself. So yeah, I am a bit stuck. Primarily because I'm on day 2 and nearly done. Can I use the drawing on the tomb? You mean this drawing? This is where I got the drawing from. Was from the tomb. And by the way, hints are on. I'm at this point, I've been stuck on this since last Tuesday with what I thought I knew the answer to it, but apparently I can't get through it. So I'm sitting here staring at a walkthrough and I can't get it. You're wondering what to do here. Well, here's what I have done here already. I've already obtained his badge. I can no longer do it again. He won't leave. So, for example, if I go out the door, it'll tell me I can't even adjust the thermostat anymore.
I'm gonna hit the road.
Ciao, baby.
Ciao, baby. I want that as a sound command. Oh, that's too good. Hang on. There we go. I don't think I've heard him say that. So if I come out here and try to modify the thermostat.
Gabriel decides to give Mosley a break and not change the temperature again.
So we've done that. Can't do it anymore. Already got the badge. Went and did the police thing in Jackson Square. We have gone through the photograph opportunity and all of that. However,
It's hot in here.
did you see the case report with him?
Dang, the air conditioner.
I want to say yes. I've given him so many things. So, for example, we've gone through the images that he gave me.
I have that murder.
Good. Just don't let anybody know I gave it.
I wouldn't show it to him.
He wouldn't show it to a soul as he shows it to everybody in New Orleans. We've shown him that. We did that earlier tonight, too, just for fun. This is what? I don't remember if I gave this to him. Probably doesn't care about it.
That's nice.
Yeah, he doesn't want it. We've shown him this, and he'll comment on this more than...
I found these strange symbols on my...
I'm sure any extra...
But he doesn't seem that interested, more so than some of the other stuff. I showed him this, he doesn't care. I'll give him the brick.
I have this.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I don't know. Supposedly, though, I'm supposed to... Wait a minute. The mime, so follow you go towards the motorcycle. Operate the motorcycle. Look at the VEV, the VEV marks on the ground. Use sketchbook on it. Look at the hatch marks in the grass and the lower. Pick up the snake skin, which we've done that. Take clay from near the. I found something else. Show him the voodoo thing again. You're talking about these right here. Show him this.
I found these strange symbols on Marie Laveau's tomb at St. Louis Cemetery number 1.
I'm sure any extra voodoo stuff you dig up will make an interesting story tonight, but I'd rather stick with the case at hand, personally.
Yeah. So there is one thing that I have not done, and I did notice in the walkthrough.
I'm going to hit...
And it might just be that this is what I need in order to trigger the change. So we'll go there. And back to the crime scene. I do have copies of the symbols. Yep, I've got these. I did this in the sketchbook, but apparently I need to get...
Is that clay?
Clay.
Yuck.
Yeah, really? Clay isn't that yucky. So we got that.
Gabriel is carrying a lump of clay from the banks of
I
Lake
know.
Pontchartrain.
So that was the other thing we were missing. Why that would trigger it, I don't know. Let's see. So we've already fixed... We did the clock. We got the clock. We sorted that out. Sketchbook. Look at the hatch marks. We already got the snake scale. Took the clay. We're supposed to go to the police station now. And this is where we're supposed to show him the pattern. So let's go back. Hey, Things. How are you doing, by the way? Wet Cash? Is that one of those new mumble rappers? Probably. Others have a lump of coal for good luck. Gabriel gets clay. A piece of coal broke off. A piece of clay plopped off. All right, let's see if maybe just because we didn't have the clay in our inventory, if that made a difference. I don't have a lot of confidence here, but, I mean, it is something we were missing. Let's try talking to her now.
Can I ask you if...
I'm sorry.
So she still doesn't want to talk to me yet. She's quite busy. But I think we need to trigger her conversation with him.
Mostly my man.
Yeah, what is it, you wanker?
It's
I'm making
ads
it.
for you non-subscribers.
Oh,
Use your Twitch
man.
Prime now.
Here comes ads.
Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink. Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
Free needles. How are you enjoying...
Yeehaw! Slap my sister and call me Billy Bob.
How are you enjoying Laura Bow and the Dagger of Amon-Ra? Let's see if this matters now.
I have this.
That's nice, but I'm...
So he doesn't care about that at all.
I found these strange symbols on Marie.
I'm sure any...
Yeah, it's an interesting game. The puzzles aren't particularly well done. It's kind of like Gabriel Knight. It's fun. I really enjoyed the sequel to Colonel's Bequest, but they really could have done another type of Colonel's Bequest and not just a murder mystery point-and-click adventure. It felt lazy to me. I haven't... Yeah, I can actually. I just haven't done it yet. So let's see.
There's no reason to make a clay impression of that.
Oh, wait a minute. That's one thing.
Those two objects.
They said, hey, kiddo.
I have this.
That's
Hi.
nice, but I'm busy with the real...
So apparently not. Apparently you can't look that closely at it.
Gabriel is carrying.
Nothing fancy. All right, so ads are rolling. I apologize for those who don't have ads.
Images hot. The images touch a deep. Those. It's Gabriel's sketch of the series of crosses from the Laveau tomb wall with magenta.
So we don't have any other patterns. Use ad-free elites. Us ad-free elites can really get to shine now. Yeah, I'm not even really making progress right now. I feel like I've just hit a brick wall, and I'm really wondering if I've hit one of my rare soft locks. Or get turbo, yeah. Can you flip the pages in the book? I want to say I've tried that, and I couldn't do it. Let's see. Doesn't look like it.
Images. The
Can't drag them, can't click them.
images haunt. The images touch a deep chord in Gabriel. So familiar are they that he finds it hard to believe they aren't from his own subconscious.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's an option to change pages. I'm really surprised someone doesn't have a website that lists all the soft locks in these old games. I would eat that up. Well, the best website really for these old Sierra games is sierrahelp.com. And I'm assuming you've already been aware of this one, but it is by far the best resource for these old Sierra games. It includes patches, updated launchers and installers, walkthroughs, tips, hints. It even tells you, it gives you access to tools that allow you to be able to extract like the assets and whatnot from the various files. It's really cool. It's a great site. And PCGamingWiki.com is another great place too. But the SierraHelp.com one is specifically for Sierra games. I don't know if it's updated anymore, but yeah, it even lists demos, cheats, soundtracks, Sierra themes, all kinds of stuff. It's pretty much the go-to for all Sierra games. UHS files. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, I hate to say it. I think I'm stuck. Like, I think it's stuck. I don't know if I can get through this. I don't know if this is something that's going to let me get through without restarting it. You're amazed that the UHS site is still running. You really don't remember this game. I don't blame you. It's clearly Zombie Field. I tried to submit a new file and... Oh, zombified. Yeah, no replies or permission. I'm assuming it's probably just maintained financially at this point. You know, whoever is saving the server space. So I kind of dread that this could, you know, eventually just disappear. Or eventually break. You know, some kind of change in the way web pages are displayed changes the formatting and it ends up breaking somehow and not being useful. There's an open source hint reader 2 to make use of those. Let's see. Magnifying glass on the snake skin. I'm pretty sure I have, but let's do it again just in case.
Gabriel magnifies the shed skin from Magentia, Moonbeam's snake. The snake scales are hued.
Yeah, I did do that.
It's the Gabriel, the era.
Yeah, we did that one as well. All right, let's see if we get different dialogue options from him now. No options for patterns. Have we hit day 3? No, actually, that's the problem. Hey, Ultima CJ, I am absolutely still stuck from last week. I've made 0 progress other than I found the clay. I didn't pick up the clay. So you're supposed to talk to Franks. Is that the front desk guy? I'm bad at names. Yeah, I can try again. Let me see if I get something different from him. Did you solve anything from the park? Yes. I did get the drawing and whatnot and whatever that guy gave me. I don't remember now what it was. Let's talk to this guy one more time.
I'm here. He's in his...
Okay.
Do you... Marie who? Is she the one that hangs out on Conti and Nash?
No. Never mind.
Do you know... I see plenty of masks during Mardi Gras. Not many animals, though. Of course, there's plenty of animals underneath.
I want to say I did, but I don't remember what it was. Let's see. Oh, that's right. That's where I got stuck last week. The walkthrough just says use 6 patterns. What patterns? That's my question. So I never did go and do that because, well, I guess we can let's just exit, go to the park. There are 2 things, yeah. Given the 6 patterns. Yeah, this is not my friend. This game is not my friend. The 2 patterns, the photocopy you got from the police station and the sketch you got from the lake in the sand. So I never got anything from the photocopier, which is what I was trying to do, but I can't get the dialogue to work. Let's see what happens.
What would the artist...
He hasn't done the photocopy, and I can't get it to... I don't know. That's why I think I'm soft-locked. I don't know what the deal is there. I don't understand what's missing. Like, what patterns is it referring to? I just don't get it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, I do need to do that. I don't doubt it. But how? Well, I did get the manila folder from him, and he gave me, which had the photos in them, you know, Mosley's graduation photo, and then the photo of the body from one of the voodoo murders. So I got those. But let's go back to him and talk to him again.
Got a second, officer?
Not that one.
What can I do you for?
So I'm just going to go down the list.
I told you.
What can... Do you know?
What is this? Never mind, don't it?
What can you...
I already told you.
Are you...
You don't.
Do you know...
I told...
Do you know...
You don't. What is it?
Tell me. I'm here to...
He's in his...
Okay, so we've literally asked everything of him, but he gives me no option for anything else. Talk to Mosley. Say you want an author cop photo. Yep. And the police photographer. When prompted, ask me, let me check my hair, head to the next screen, make a copy of the folder that's on her desk.
Lady Cat 76, thank you for resubscribing at tier 1 for 15 months.
Mostly.
You were legendary.
Night, come on in.
Lady Cat, thank you so much for the 15 months. How are you doing?
It's hot here. Dang, the air conditioner.
Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. Waiting on this guy to shut his mouth.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Away.
I think part of the problem is it's the walkthrough might not be that clear. So
I got the...
Oh wait, that's not what I wanted. Let's take another cop author photo, yeah.
What for? I don't think we got you.
Really?
So Franks comes in. You've been playing this game for over 20 years. I feel like I'm gonna have to play this 20 years to solve it. I don't generally have this much problem, but this one's killing me. You must have a lot of hours in this, yeah. I mean, you know, some of the games are great. They're just worth playing over and over and over. Okay, so she's going to do their thing.
That clown wants another picture. You don't mind, do you?
That clown wants another picture.
Of course not. What else could I possibly have to do?
Let's see. All right, so now I got to say I want to go check my hair or whatever.
Anything else, Knight?
But not the 25th anniversary remake. That game and its voiceovers are rough. I've heard. I've never seen it, though. Hold on a sec. I'm going to go check my hair.
Hold on a sec while I go check my hair.
Good God, Knight, make it fast.
Okay, so supposedly this is where I go.
There's nothing of interest in the inbox at the moment.
So, I'm missing a conversation point.
It's an inbox. An officer's desk.
So what if I go over here and talk to the guy? Is this now different?
Can I bother you again, officer?
See, that's the problem. I can't talk to her. She won't talk to me.
What is it this time?
Wow. Why did I just get re-welcomed back to my own chat room?
Would you just get in here?
Oh.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, so off she goes. Want a hint? I've got two people giving hints and a walkthrough, and I still can't get it right.
Dang, the air conditioning must be on.
I'm going to try something first, Lady Cat. I think somebody mentioned something that might be the issue.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Aha! Aha! Okay, this is what it is.
Can you get a file for me?
What file would that be?
The Voodoo Murders file? Detective Mosley said I could see it.
Really? Well, if he said so.
Yeah, exactly.
There it is. You can look at it all you want, but don't leave this area, okay? And no photocopies either, I'm afraid.
Of course. I understand completely.
That's not a hint. Photocopy it quickly. Okay, so this is the patterns it's talking about. Excuse me. The tinkle of victory. Yeah, right. Man, I can't wait till day 5 or day 9. I'm getting to a point where I can't wait for it either, for a whole different set of reasons.
The police file contains partial patterns from the first 6 voodoo murders. The folder is marked with the warning not to leave the police station.
So I was literally using the wrong dialogue option on her. I needed to use the statement instead of question.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Are you sure
I'm real sure.
Such a neat little game. It's a fun game. I enjoy it. I love the music. I love the story. The story is by far the best part of it. And of course, it's typical Sierra artwork, which is always fantastic. But I'm not a fan of these pixels at all. They're killing me.
Excuse me, officer.
That's my only complaint.
So, what's it like being a policewoman?
The glamour never ceases.
She really sells it, doesn't she?
Yes.
Oh, never mind.
Fine. I'll get back to work.
By the way, the reason why the dialogue option is partially obscured by the taskbar down here is because this came out when Windows 3.1 was there, and Windows 3.1 doesn't have a taskbar. So I have it hidden. I should be able to auto hide. I think it. Let's see. Yeah, it'll actually be lower. There we go.
Talking to thin air could get one arrested here.
Don't leave the room with that file, please.
Ah, that's it. It's interesting how the skills to create art of this type of resolution is mostly lost. It's mostly, but I mean, Julie Minamata, she does a fantastic job of the earlier pixel art, like from the 80s. It looks like, it looks just like a Sierra game. we've seen a surge of this art lately for sure. I agree with you on that, Rev Brown, absolutely. But it is something that is under threat of being lost because
I'm done.
Yeah, thanks.
Because once the fad is over and you don't really see the retro style games as much, then there's a risk that we're going to lose access to it. Just simply because people won't know how to, and the tools won't be kept up anymore. Back in the Sierra days, the way they created it,
The air conditioning must be on the blink.
yeah, that's actually very accurate from my
Are you
understanding
hot?
too.
Man,
Okay, now that we're gonna do the photo.
Can I ask you about some stuff?
Hey, Sentient, welcome
you're
in.
the writer. Ask away.
There we go.
I got those photos.
So you...
Let's take them.
What for?
I don't.
Really?
Yeah, it can be. It can be. It depends on the artist. But
Ranks, come
there are some good examples.
back in.
Come on, mostly.
Now what, sir?
That clown wants another picture. You don't mind, do you?
Of course not. What else could I possibly have to do?
Anything else, Knight?
Yeah, I want to go check my hair.
Hold on a sec while I go check my hair.
All of it.
God, Knight, make it fast.
Working with very tight palettes, yeah. I won't say it's lost. I don't necessarily say I agree with that it's lost to work with very tight palettes. I think for the most part, it is something that you have to get used to, and right now it's just not necessary. I mean, even the smallest devices are far more powerful than pretty much anything that you'd get out of the 80s, early 90s especially. Probably more powerful even the late 90s for that matter, as far as like storage and palette access and things like that. It could regrow. I just don't expect it to. Yeah.
Let me see that file again.
Uh-huh. So we're going to pick that up.
Just want to check this machine here.
Just want to check this machine here. Their attempt at 3D was neat, but not very well done, yeah. Pixel art tried to replicate reality different from today when you try to look old. That's true. Different perspective, but yeah, that's very good. Low color is a very, very big limitation. Okay, look at that. We finally got over 100 points. Dick Danza, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome to the channel.
Would you just get in here? Hurry up, would you?
Okay, ready.
Thanks, hon. Let me know when you got it developed. The photos, that is.
Yeah, sure.
Now you can return to the artist, and if you're correct, giving those two items will conclude day 2. That's what it looks like to me, based on what I'm aware of.
Have it.
All right, so out the door. And to Jackson Square. You don't think the artists of the 80s and 90s were grateful of palette limitations? They were forced to deal with it. But you're not sure they wanted higher resolution and higher color depth, so their art wasn't so compromised, yeah. Okay.
I have some more of those patterns.
Really? Let's see. Yeah, these are great. I think there's enough overlap now. I'll give it my best shot. I'll show you what I come up with tomorrow.
Great. I appreciate it.
Okay. So, Does that mean we just leave? Come back tomorrow, right?
It's getting late. Gabriel decides to go home.
There we go. Right? He decides to go home. You mean back to the bookstore where he sleeps in the back, and probably not a legal residence, but who knows? You need some food. She's like, oh God, he's home. I'm going. See ya. Bye. Finally a new day. It only took 5 streams. Two down, 8 to go. Oh. Boy, they just really cut that song off. Like, we're done. That's how houses are in the quarters. Some have stores in front. Yeah, it's not unusual. Drawn to back. What? Missed it. So that means read the newspaper after she picks it up and puts it down.
I'm
made it that
so
was
glad
you
you
a
could join us
mogwai.
today. I've got messages when you want them. I also checked out Kazanu. There are multiple listings in the white pages. I got the page, but you'll have to figure out the right one.
Great, thanks.
Now, are you gonna tell me what happened yesterday with Malia Getty, or is it just too embarrassing? Don't tell me you actually got to see her.
Are the stars out tonight?
God.
Gabriel, you don't seriously think she's interested. She can have any man in the city. You know, men with bank accounts.
You underestimate the Knight family's tragic poet samurai appeal. When Daddy married Mom, she was the hottest catch in town.
I always suspected there was something fishy in your family tree. But seriously, I think you should be careful.
Grace.
I'm serious. I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach about this.
It's called jealousy, my dear. And you're right. You should be jealous of Malia Getty, as should every woman on this planet.
Oh, never mind. I'll just fix these books. Your life is in your own slippery little hands.
The point is to get it into somebody else's hands. And soon.
Interesting. All right. I'm going to take a very brief pause here. I need a quick bio break. I think I got about an hour left in me. With the sinus infection, it's starting to creep back up on me. Give me just a minute here. I'll be right back. I'm just going to put it over on the be right back screen, and I'll, be right back.
I'll be back in a jiffy.
All right, sorry about that. Oh, sounds like just to get into a Nazareth. Oh, gotcha. Seems like a super unique place for the combination of cultures. Oh, you're talking about New Orleans? Yeah, Cynthia. It started out as allergies last week, and I was doing really well up until Sunday, which I did fine, and then Monday morning I woke up and I'm like, oh boy. I think it's trying to turn into an actual infection, whereas it wasn't like that before. It sucks, but I've been running my mouth all day. I start work at 7 a.m. Then I take about an hour and a half break, and then at the end of my shift and do this on Tuesdays. And on the best of nights, it can be quite exhausting. Oh, who's this dude?
Hey, kids.
Huh?
Bruno.
Gabe, pet. I just popped in to see if you're desperate enough to sell me that painting.
Are you ready to drop dead today? Wow. Gee, is today the day that hell is over?
How much would you give me for it, Bruno?
Gabriel, don't you dare sell your father's painting.
I don't know if I should choose this or not.
Stay out of this, Grace.
Ooh, you're serious? You'll let me have it?
Yeah, I'll let you have it, all right. How much for the painting?
Well, I could give you 100. That's all I can let go at the moment, you know. My fares are so tied up.
Gabriel, $100 for your father's painting?
Grace, let me deal with this.
Hang on a second. That's part of the reason why I feel like the mouse doesn't want to work right. Huh, there we go. There we got some cat hair. Oh yeah, they would not get away with this dialogue today. Yeah, sadly, you're right. I think. Fine, it's yours.
Fine, it's yours.
Gabriel!
Here's the 100.
You better take good care of this, Bruno. This is not just another of your hip art pieces, you know.
Really? Well, I fully intend to make the most of its display, though not for your sake, I'm sure. At least in my shop, there'll be a chance of someone actually seeing it. I can't believe I actually got it. Just wait until I show Sid.
All right. So I'm sure I know what to do with the money because this was something I was trying to figure out before.
I don't believe you!
It's just a painting, Grace. There are things I have to do.
Well, yeah, like buy a alligator mask. Okay, how about we...
Today's newspaper is on the counter.
Thank you for the obvious there.
That doesn't...
Okay.
There is...
Ahoy!
Pickle Hugh, dated June 20, 1993. Gabriel scans over an uninteresting front page.
How you doing, Evil Alex?
Under the cultural events section, there's a notice about a lecture on African religions. The lecture is at Tulane University. Gabriel's horoscope for the day. An evil eye is upon you. Change course before it's too late.
Lighten up.
More like horoscope. I mean, really, you're not lying.
Gabriel.
All right. So she said that she had some...
There's no...
research, or she had some messages for me.
Grace?
What's up?
So...
Do you have messages for me?
Your pal Mosley called. He left a message that they're interrogating a suspect this morning and you might want to be there.
Ooh.
Sounds fun.
Mm-hmm. I bet.
You have more?
That man from Germany called again, Wolfgang Ritter. Now he's claiming to be a relative of yours. I took down his number. if you change your mind and want to give him a call back, just ask me for it.
I am making many new friends.
Annoyed 1, pardon me. Annoyed 1, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that.
Do you have more messages for me?
I've given everything to you.
Can I get that phone number for Wolfgang Ritter?
Sure. I'll give it to you when we're done talking.
Could you?
Sure.
Okay, so...
I can't...
Okay.
Where's Cavanaugh? Cavanaugh? I don't see anything about Cavanaugh.
Do you...
I've told...
What do you...
I know...
What else?
You're the...
Do you know anything...
I told you not...
What can...
I'm just making sure we haven't missed anything.
I told you.
Rev Brown, thank you.
I don't.
You can't tell me anything about the word Schottenjäger?
Nope. Here's that phone number.
Thanks.
Okay, so we have a phone number now. Wow. Okay. The sticky stickies effects have worn off. Yeah. I'm ill. Let's see. Wait, what's this? Oh, this was the research she gave me the information on. So Cavanaugh. So there's a few of them here. We've got 4 Cavanaughs, and we can try all 4 of these. Gotcha. Okay, so there is a phone here, right? I think there's a phone in his room. Yeah. I think. Is that a phone?
The desk phone is...
Yep. Okay, so we're going to use the phone. But I'm going to have to remember what these are. Hang on a second. I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit and screenshot. Thank you, snipping tool. You're my best friend right now. There you go. All right, you just made my life easy. Okay. You'd had to have written this stuff down. Are we sure she didn't actually give you her number? I'm pretty sure she didn't. She seems to have no interest in him whatsoever. Okay, so we've got 4 numbers we can call. Oh, I guess. There we go. 1270.
Hello.
Hi, is this the Kazanu residence?
Yes. What can I do for you?
Do you or does anyone in your family patronize the Dixieland drugstore?
I'm a busy man. What are you selling?
Nothing.
Good. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'm guessing it's the second one here because the 4 that were in the list were Kazanu B, Kazanu with no first initial, and then Kazanu A and Kazanu S. I bet you it's the one with no initial, which is this one here. 1220.
Hello, Kazanu residence?
Hi. I was wondering if you could help me.
Yeah?
A woman in the Dixieland drugstore dropped her purse today, and the name Kazanu was inside it.
Dixieland drugstore? Never heard of it. Sorry.
Okay, so I was wrong. I mean, I had a 25% chance I'd get it right. Let's try this one. 1280.
Hello?
Hello? I'm calling from the Dixieland drugstore. We have an order for you.
Castro, be quiet. Who is this?
I'm a friend of the owner.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, it figures to be the last one on the list. Actually, I think that was the voice of the lady that was in there. Wait a minute. Hang on a second here. That says 535, doesn't it? 1237. 535 1237. Sounds like Hoagie from Day of the Tentacle, friend of the owner. Yeah. Oop. 535-1237.
Casino residence, may I help you?
Hi. You won a customer raffle at the Dixieland drugstore?
No soliciting, please.
Okay. So, I'm absolutely certain that the third one we dialed, the one with the barking dog, is the right one. But she obviously didn't want to talk, so I'm just going to have to...
The number written on the note is 490932.
Thank you, I've got enough now. Okay, now we're going to try calling this Wolfgang Ritter. What, does he not have international dialing here? 4909324. Oh.
Guten Tag, Sie haben Schloss Ritter erreicht?
I'm looking for Wolfgang Ritter.
Ja, einen Moment.
Yeah, is this Gabriel on the phone?
This is Gabriel Knight. Why are you calling me, Mr. Ritter?
I have been having premonitions of great danger for you, Gabriel. You must leave New Orleans this very day.
What the hell are you talking about?
It is hard to explain on the phone. I have had feelings about you. It took me a long time to have you tracked down. I had a sense that Heinz had a grandson, but until these dreams started, I did not know if I should contact you.
You say you're related to my grandfather?
Yes, Heinz was my brother. There is much about the family that you should know, Gabriel. Come to Schloss Ritter in Rittersberg, West Germany. It is our family home. I will tell you everything when you come.
Why don't you come to New Orleans?
Immediately. You are in great danger there.
Look, I appreciate the family spirit and all, but frankly I don't know you from Adam, and I'm not going to fly off to Germany even if I could afford it.
Gabriel, please. If you won't listen, at least let me send you something. It is a journal from one of your ancestors. Promise me you will read it.
Well, I'm pretty busy.
Please, Gabriel, you are the last of our line. I am too old to carry on. You are our last hope.
You're our only
Please,
hope.
For your family, read the journal.
All right, I'll look at it.
Good. Now be careful and come to me as soon as you can. Goodbye.
Hans was my brother, said what's his name in Die Hard 3, Die Harder or whatever. No, not Die Harder, that was 2. What was Die Hard with a Vengeance, yeah. Feelings. Because he wants to survive. Jeremy Irons, yes. All right. We've already gotten all that. Simon Gruber. Hans Gruber's brother. Yeah. That's him.
So, what's new, Grace?
Your use of mathematics, for one thing. These books are unbelievable.
What can I say? I refuse to be bound by rules.
The strap marks on your bedpost speak otherwise.
Ooh. Ooh. Wow.
I'm out of here. Try not to sell out the store while I'm gone.
See ya.
I would almost argue that 3 was the best of the series. I loved...
We got a fire on our hands.
I loved 3. Samuel L. Jackson in that was the perfect choice. Like, there was nobody that could have played that role better than he did. Tulane University.
It looks like the lecture is just starting. Gabriel decides to record the session.
Voodoo is the tribal religion of Africa, but the name Voodoo is actually a banner heading under which resides an entire body of distinct tribal belief systems. The word voodoo may sound familiar to you. What is known in the States as voodoo is actually an amalgamation of African religious systems, voodoo, and European religions, primarily Catholicism. All of the subcults of African voodoo have certain things in common. The most important is the worship of a pantheon of spirits instead of the single deity that the Christian and Muslim systems have. Some of these spirits are elementals. Some relate to specific tasks or places. Some represent important tribal leaders who have died. This spirit worship is what makes voodoo so easily adaptable. With all those spirits, it's no problem to add a few more. Say, for example, the Virgin Mary. At the height of tribal Africa, warfare was common. One tribe would conquer another, and the Loa, important in the conqueror's tribal system, would be adopted readily into the conquered tribe's Loa pantheon. In this way, many of the voodoo cults spread and mingled throughout tribal Africa, enriching the belief system and causing innumerable offshoots. The basis for the voodoo religion seems to be as old as man himself. It has much in common with many early pagan practices: animal totems, sympathetic magic, elemental spirits in the trees, the heavens, the bodies of the sick. Africa is believed by many to be the cradle of the human race. Some of the voodoo Loa may be as old as the Garden of Eden itself. We still can't explain some of the real power of these primal religions. And note, I said primal, not primitive. There are African Bokors who baffle our scientists with their supernatural powers. Now, let's discuss the elements of voodoo.
Fascinating guy.
In voodoo, the spirits are called the Loa. During a voodoo ceremony, celebrants are possessed by the Loa, and this is called being ridden. The human worshiper is seen as a horse, and the Loa as the divine horseman. A person being ridden by a Loa takes on the characteristics of that spirit and becomes, in effect, merely a vessel for the more powerful entity. Some of the older original Africa Loa include Dambala, the great serpent god; Ezruli, the mistress of love; Baba Nebo, or Gede, the lord of death; Agwe, the spirit of water; Legba, spirit of the crossroads; and the cruelest and most dangerous, Ogun Badagri, the lord of destruction.
I gotta get more sleep at night.
The tribe-specific Loa can have as much or more power as the more widely worshipped Loa. For instance, a particular tribe might revere highly the Loa of an ancestor who was a legendary hunter or politician. Voodoo temples are called Houndfors. Their priests, Hungan or Bokors. Their priestesses, Mama Loa. In a voodoo Houndfor, there's a ritual circle marked by a center pole called a poto mitan. The ritual circle is prepared with a veve, a pattern of symbols. Each tribe's veve is slightly different, consisting of complex symbols that identify their special Loa. During ritual conclaves, initiates dance under the supervision of a Bokor and a Mama Loa, or head priestess. The use of totems or animal masks and markings was not uncommon in the original African ceremonies. Now, though, all but the oldest sects have abandoned this practice. Ritual objects used during the conclaves include the ritual gourd or asson, the ritual knife or kubasa.
That knife gives me the chills.
the ritual whip, or fouet cache, and the ritual coffin, or seke madule. These items are often optional, called for by the Mamaloa for specific magical rituals. The Mamaloa is the most powerful figure in any Voodoo sect. Voodoo is a truly matriarchal system. Even the Bokor knows his power is limited. Mamaloa is the supreme woman.
Is this a Metal Gear game?
Butterflies. Oh, fireflies.
Firelight. No, what is it? Gabriel?
What? I can't see.
Gabriel, get in.
Can't. It's too small for me.
You must get in, Gabriel.
It's not mine. Too small.
Hide, Gabriel, hide.
No, no, let me out. Help.
Young man, the lecture is over.
Oh my God, sorry.
Good job, Gabriel. Osgold, yeah, so you say, you're saying that there was some dialogue that's not visible. It's because we're playing it in Windows instead of in DOS. We're playing it in Windows 98. And it was originally released when Windows 3.1 was the dominant Windows operating system, or interface, I guess. So basically what it means is that Windows 3.1, there is no taskbar, right? It's just a desktop. And when you play it in Windows 95 or Windows 98, the taskbar kind of gets in the way because they didn't really write it for this. I didn't realize it when I first installed it. It didn't occur to me. Bookworm. We really have the concept of full screen apps, yeah, in 3.1. Well, I mean, everything was treated as a window anyway at that point. So if you wanted to go full screen for I think you could do full screen in Windows 3.1. I haven't used it in any extensive way in years, although I have it installed. I just don't really use it that often. But if you wanted full screen, you just went into DOS. But this game actually had both a Windows installer as well as a DOS installer. And I'm like, you know what, everybody plays this in DOS. I doubt there's any difference between the two, but let's just play it in window mode anyway, just to see. But, it gives you a title bar up here. Something I might be able to do, I haven't tried. No, Alt-Enter doesn't work. Though you could full screen, it didn't cleanly translate to 95. Yeah, because the interfaces were slightly different. That and they were programmed a little differently. I mean, when they developed games for Windows 95 and Windows 98, one of the things that was really annoying about Windows 95 and Windows 98 is that it wanted to treat windowed mode in the exact resolution that you were playing in, which is part of the problem here. Like in Windows XP and up, if you full screen a window, it will treat the taskbar as a separate area, so that the window just expands to the taskbar. In this, it hides behind the taskbar. That's why I have it set to auto hide right now. So if I turn off auto hide, and then I have, carry some dialogue, it'll actually hide the text behind the taskbar. It's really kind of obnoxious. It was kind of an unintended side effect when I started playing it. So I apologize for that, but yeah. Okay, he's getting up now.
Gabriel scans the bulletin board. Greek night at the Alpha Psi Omega frat house. It looks like it took place sometime last spring.
Okay.
There's a PA speaker on the wall. The podium. Partridge's throne.
So I wonder.
Gabriel.
He's not in the mood to give a lecture.
The university.
That's funny. All right.
Those doors lead to. Gabriel does not.
Can we go back there and talk to the professor?
Are you a student?
No. My name is Knight.
He sort of is.
Gabriel Knight.
Well, you have walked into my private office, Mr. Knight. I hope you have something worthwhile to do here. If you figure it out, let me know.
If you figure, wow. Wow.
Your lecture was terrific.
Oh, you think so? You were snoring so loud I didn't think you'd heard it.
Oh, wow.
Mind if I pick your brain?
Not if it will get you out of my office.
I don't think he likes this guy, or likes Gabriel very much.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
You already sat through my lecture on the subject, Mr. Knight. Perhaps next time you could stay awake and learn something.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I've read about them in the papers. I must admit, to some interest. But according to the newspapers, the voodoo aspect is faked, so I haven't really pursued it. You know how Americans, especially Hollywood, treats voodoo. I'm sure there are many so-called practitioners out there that have no idea what they're doing or the power they're playing with. What could you already?
Okay, I'm just making sure we didn't miss something.
As I said,
Okay.
What can you tell me?
I find it interesting to see the occasional fragment of voodoo practices in the everyday culture of New Orleans.
What else can you tell me about New Orleans?
The Catholic Church has always dominated in New Orleans, and its imagery, in turn, has dominated New Orleans voodoo.
What else can...
If there's more you wish to know, perhaps you should...
Okay, I didn't think he was going to give me more, but worth a shot.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm not a zoologist, Mr. Knight, but I know all I care to about reptiles.
Do you know any...
I'm not a...
All right.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's June 23rd, the feast day of St. John the Baptist. But June 23rd has been a sacred day since the earliest times. Ancient sun worshippers used to roll a flaming wheel down a hill to celebrate the sun's descent on that day.
Light the wheel on fire. We're going to send it down the hill.
What can you tell me?
I'm not in the habit of...
Do you have any idea what caprice-en-coeur means?
Caprice-en-coeur? Yes, I do. It's a Haitian term, I believe. It's French, and literally translates as goat without horns.
As in a female goat?
No, as in a human sacrifice. Sacrifices in voodoo are usually of the animal variety. Chickens, wolves, goats. If the gods demand a goat without horns, it means a human being.
You still have trouble believing this is Tim Curry. I love Tim Curry. There really isn't anything that he's done that I didn't like as far as movies or shows or things that he's been in. His voiceover on this is really good until you get to his accent, and it's a bit like Kevin Costner in Robin Hood. It's just all over the place.
What was that?
I'm not in the habit...
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
While I find the colloquial bastardizations of voodoo somewhat interesting from a sheerly intellectual point of view, there's not a lot of relation between people like Laveau and true voodoo practices.
Do you know any...
I'm not a...
Do you know anything about animal masks?
As I said in my lecture, which I assume you actually listened to, is that animal masks, totems, are used extensively in most African voodoo religions.
Well, not a whole lot of difference distance-wise there, Lady Cat. But yeah, and even then it's a bit of a mess. It's not... There's moments where he kind of almost makes it, but more often than not, he's kind of off the mark.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
I'm not in the habit of repeating myself.
Tell me about bebés.
If you'd taken notes during my lecture, you wouldn't have to ask.
He swings into Alabama too a lot too. Yeah, that's true.
Tell me
if you...
I think accents are just hard without time to train. Well, not only that, but I mean, it's a lot like English accents to me, British accents in general. Some are really clear, like I can tell you which ones are which, but you can start getting into the countrysides in England itself, and I have no idea. I couldn't tell you where you came from. I might recognize a difference, but there's no guarantee I'd even know that. And American accents are not much different in that respect. There's a wide variety of them. Getting ready for ads for you non-subscribers.
Have you ever heard of a Schuttenjäger?
I'm afraid I can't help you there, Mr. Knight.
You've been playing better at Othello against human opponents so far this week. One game you've been playing right now, and
I am making many new friends in Britannia.
You played a rather brilliant move that will get you 2 corners in the next 2 turns. Congratulations, Reg. And thank you, Cat Sub. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Cat Sub Biker? Thank you very much for the follow. Thank you, Playin, as well, for the follow. I missed the other. I think we were in the middle of the lecture that Gabriel was sleeping through, and I missed it.
Tell me about yourself.
Incoming ads for you non-subscribers. Use your Twitch Prime now.
35, a fully tenured professor at this university, as well as a fellow at Cambridge. My doctorate was obtained at Syracuse. Yes, Syracuse, in religious studies. I'm an agnostic, but I find human belief systems fascinating. I specialize in African religions because I grew up there. My father was a Protestant missionary. And I am heterosexual when I practice sex at all, which isn't very often. Any other questions?
Oh.
No.
No,
Fine.
indeed. Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna let these ads roll through. That was TMI if I think I've ever heard it in a Sierra game. Yeah. Anyway, let these ads roll through. I'm just gonna let this sit here for a minute. What did he say? What did he say? Not often you don't see it. Exactly. Gee, I wonder why, huh? I mean, with his attitude. The women. Exactly. Hey, Monafe. How you doing? You missed our conversation with Gabriel Knight's German uncle. Great uncle, actually, yeah. I figured, and Gregor had just left not maybe 30 minutes before. I was wondering, hopefully he could tell us whether or not it was... Actually, we've got somebody who could have told us whether the accent was accurate or not. Tell us you're boring without getting us all... You're boring. Yeah, telling us you're boring. That's exactly how I was. Well, sir. I mean, really, when he started the conversation off with out of nowhere, we're talking about religion, and he's telling us all about his studies, and he says, well, sir, I'm a heterosexual. Wait, what? What does that have to do with the religion? Since I hate him. You saw Gabriel and I being creepy to a woman when Mike streamed it and said I hate him. Yeah. It's definitely a product of the 90s, Monafe. It was fairly accurate, yeah. That was pretty good, though. Honestly, that was pretty funny. That was not expected. I think they did a great job of tossing in a little humor. Holy crap!
It's a raid from Noodle Beef Noodle. Let's all give them a warm welcome.
Good timing on the raid there. The ads are rolling by and they're almost done. How's it going? Hardly working. Strider, the magic eel. Noodle, the noodliest of noodles. How are you doing? How was your stream? How was your game? What were you doing tonight? I saw you go live, but I didn't see what you were playing.
I am making many.
Thank you for the follow, Resonate. I like the way you did that. Resin and the number 8. Resonate. I love it. It was great. What were you playing? Tell me what you were playing. And an advert started, so we missed the raid reaction. Oh, no. Hopefully it didn't. It should have. Well, you guys came in right in the middle of an ad break, so I wasn't sure if it was going to kill the pre-rolls or not. Pardon me for just a moment. Oh. Pixel, how you doing, Pixelated Geek? Good to see you, Simon. It was so fun. Toonstruck. That's a great one. Christopher Lloyd. I've only seen, I want to say Tom playing that. I don't think I've seen other people like actually play it. I think Braxton might have played it on GogCom at one point. Yeah, Fraz played it. Coffee saw it. I might have watched a little bit of that one as well. It's so fun. I understand it's kind of goofy. Time for some debugging. You wanted to go see what Noodle was playing, but got caught. But caught the raid back here. Don't you love it when that was happening? It was so fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's epic goofiness. You saw Ananda play it as well, Pixie. Okay. I definitely need to play it. It's on my list. I guess I'll have to get it closer to the top of the list so that I can actually get to it. It's one I've wanted to play largely because I love Christopher Lloyd. So, and to see him in a computer game is just hilarious. The whole idea behind it is like, even because to me, even back in the 80s, and he wasn't even that old, like when he did Back to the Future, he's playing an old man basically, and I'm like, he's always been old. Has he ever not been old? It's kind of a joke too, because that's actually a line in like Back to the Future. This guy ever have hair? No. What can you tell me about noodles? Ruxlow, that's awesome. I like it. Sorry for the... No, you're fine. You need working in 7 hours. Trust me, you're perfectly fine, Noodle. Thank you so much for that awesome raid. I really appreciate it. For those who are new to my channel, if you don't know who I am, I'm Bittomann and I play old PC games. I'm also sadly kind of dealing with sinus infections, so you might see me mute and cough my head off for a second. I'm starting to talk a little more gingerly because my sinuses are starting to hurt, but that's my problem. In any case, I play pretty much exclusively old PC games here, and I stream on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. On Tuesdays, we exclusively do either Sierra or LucasArts titles. Right now, we're playing Gabriel Knight. I've never played this game before. I love everything except for the puzzles in it. I'm not even going to lie. I love everything but the puzzles in it. The game is a lot of fun. It's got a great story to it. The voiceovers are perfectly cheesy to go along with everything else. The music's really good. All of it. On Fridays and Sundays, we do a different game, and right now we're doing largely an RPG theme. Sunday we started Lands of Lore as a first-time playthrough. I'd never touched it before, and absolutely enjoying that game. Every second of it has been a lot of fun, and I hope it stays that way. I don't want it to be one of those games where you get halfway through and you're like, oh God, I can't wait for this to end. But no, it started out so strong. Last you checked, Vito, Christopher Lloyd was in his early 40s when he got the role of Dr. Emmett L. Brown. Yeah, but I wouldn't call that old at that point. Of course, he was made up to look even older, like in his 60s. So he always looked old. And I other than Taxi as a kid, watching Taxi when it was still first run back in the day as a little kid, I didn't really know him as an actor. He was just somebody I saw on TV. So I knew of him when I got to Back to the Future, and I don't think I really registered the age difference. He had dark hair in Taxi in the 70s, yeah. So, well, up through the early 80s, because didn't Taxi, I think, went off the air in like 82 or something like that. It's ancient grandpa. This game is great, but tough. It is tough. It's pretty unforgiving with the puzzles. The irony of the story to Gabriel Knight is very good. Can't wait till you finish this. Yeah, I've heard that it's got a bit of a twist to it. Who is in your party in Lands of Lore? Crap. I forget what his name was. It's my first time playing through it. I went with Conrad. I had to think for a second. I was thinking either Michael or Conrad, but I think I went with Conrad because he was well-rounded. Speaking of which, less than 24 hours before you get more ancient. Ooh, is your birthday tomorrow, Epic? Fish Girl and Dude, yeah. And other than that, I've only got Bakata in my group. I've already had the girl that I saved. Was it the Droracle? Hang on a second. '11th. Oh, nice. Another May birthday. May the birthdays be with you. Yeah, tomorrow for you, but not yet for me. You're finally back. Shorty, what happened to your internet? Is it your internet again? Is that what happened? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was the youngest I'd seen him. Not only that, things of your mind, but the story behind him being in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest had to do with Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito apparently was good friends with Christopher Lloyd in the 70s. Apparently they, I don't know, somehow knew each other. I'm not sure the story behind that, but supposedly he was the one who convinced him to go do the audition, like go try and get this audition for this. Apparently Christopher Lloyd didn't really want to be an actor per se, and later on started doing a lot of writing too. And it just kind of went from there. So apparently your internet operators are installing a 5G station in the old tower. You sure they're not trying to install Windows 95 in the old tower? At 2 a.m. they are working. Wow. I guess they get a pay differential for nights. You turn 40 on Saturday the 13th. Wow. My name is Mike. That's awesome. I didn't realize that. Okay, so just in a few days from now, 4 days from now, you'll be turning 40. Oh, mine was on the 1st, yeah. So, happy butt day, Salvage Bar. Happy butt day. Why butt day? I don't get it. Enjoy your final days with hair. Just saying, epic. Since the teens. You stream on a 4G mobile router, so 5G sounds good to you? Wow. Watch out for the government 5G mind control. Happy belated. Thank you. Appreciate it. Is it butt day because prostate? Oh no! I was wondering. It didn't even cross my mind. That's awful. Your mom was born on Friday the 13th in Salem, Massachusetts. Sort of thematically related to the stream, but just not, though. Or just thought of that because of the 40. I gotcha. You have this tinfoil hat. Yeah, exactly. You stream from a Faraday cage, don't you? I was born on Friday the 13th, but not in Salem. And you had a black cat. The interesting thing is Friday the 13th had nothing to do with Salem, Massachusetts. But it is funny, kind of tie them together. A 4G mobile router, what kind of throughput did you get? Yeah, I don't remember what the maximum speed is on... I know I've gotten over 80 megabits per second on 4G towers on a cell phone before, so it should be more than sufficient. But I don't know what the jitter would be on something like that. That would have to be pretty high, I guess. Yeah. In theory, 1 gigabit. Okay. So Friday the 13th was the day that the Templars were all murdered. Or rounded up and imprisoned, depending on what Templar you were. You get around 80 megabit stable. Yeah. So it depends on the tower. My name is Mike. When the cell phone provider that I'm using, when they started doing this huge, massive ramp up, if you're in the U.S., I don't know if you are or not, or if you pay any attention to cell phone stories, but look up T-Mobile and how they changed over the course of the past 7 years. They started doing these massive upgrades all around the country, and you would go into a heavily populated area early on in that, like the first couple of years, and you would get a 4G signal. And because their 4G was actual 4G and not some modified 3G, like 3.5G, like some of the AT&T and the Verizon towers were at the time, because they were trying to push through tech before it was official. Not to say that's bad, it's just it was not fully spec'd out. The 4G, it was fast. Like, you'd go into places and it was just blazing fast. Looks like Friday the 13th was new in the 1800s. Shouldn't have been. France Friday the 13th might have been associated with a misfortune as early as the first half of the 19th century. A character in the 1834. Yeah, so that's just stories. But if you look up the, was it the French king that called for the Templars to be killed? I can't remember. Spanish King? I should know this, but I don't. So, at dawn on Friday, October 13th, 1307, scores of French Templars were simultaneously arrested by agents of King Philip, later to be tortured in locations such as the Tower of Chinon, into admitting heresy and other sacrilegious offenses in the order. They were all put to death. So that's where the predominant theory of the Friday the 13th being a bad day, a misfortune day. Finland has pretty good mobile network coverage. It's the only thing I get out here in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, which obviously it does okay, except when you're having problems with your router rebooting. You would expect back formations for all this stuff. Yeah. Oh, that's too much, Mr. Knight. Anyway, I'm going to go through this. I am really sorry. For those who came in on the raid, because I've been dealing with a sinus infection and I've worked 8 hours today and I do most of my work is literally running my mouth constantly, I am pretty much running into the end of what I can do. Otherwise, I might risk possibly hurting myself. If anything, definitely hurting my sinuses. So I'm going to try and go for about another 15 minutes and then I've got to call it a night. But I want to see if I can get through what I know I can do based on what inventory items I have and the clues that were kind of given to me in the newspaper as well as from what's-her-name in the bookstore. Let's see. You just picked up an audiobook on the Templars. Looking forward to it. Yeah, it definitely... And I haven't had one in like 3 years. It's the first one I've had in at least 3 years. Yeah.
I'd really like to know more about you.
There have been several articles written about me, Mr. Knight.
My name is Hans. Drinking has ruined my life. I'm 31 years old.
That's the only time anybody will ever hear that sound command on this channel. Thank you for that, Rig. How you doing? By the way, I couldn't help but mention you in a tweet earlier, and I know you don't check your Twitter that often. It might be worth you checking just to kind of get a giggle at it. You don't have to respond to it or anything. Just something you might get a kick out of. It's something Apogee posted. A Rig, I hear. Welcome in. What good is... Excuse me. Anyway, welcome in. If you don't know who Retro Link Gaming is, you haven't been in retro community very long, have you? Let's see. Is there anything else?
There have been several articles.
Okay.
Tell me more about human sacrifice.
It's very rare. Most voodoo practices do not include human sacrifice as a matter of record, but it is theoretically possible if that's the gods' demand. For example, one of the chants I had translated for me from a Haitian ritual went like this. Mistress Azuli, come and aid us. If a cock is demanded, we will give it.
Salvage Bar just gifted a not subscribe. You were amazing.
If a goat without horns is required for sacrifice, oh, where will we find one? Azuli is the gentlest of Loa, so they call on her for mercy. But I have seen grown and powerful Houngan tremble before
Yes,
the possession
Josh.
by one of the more violent Loa, such as Papanil. Clearly, they are afraid that something of the sort will be ordered, or that the Loa will simply take it for themselves.
Salvage Bar, thank you for gifting that sub to Rig. He gets another, oh God, what was his name? Gowron. I kept wanting to call him Garrick. I'm like, no, he's not Garrick. Get another Gowron emote. There you go. I would if you would have me. Wait, what?
Tell me. I wouldn't dwell on it most.
Okay, so I think we're done with that conversation.
Your lecture was terrific.
Oh, you think so? You were snoring so loud I didn't think you'd heard it.
Sometimes it send people photos of oh, that's awful, Josh. I know you're talking about a chicken. Kabla. So I guess we're pretty much done in this office here, huh?
Dr. Hartridge's desk is remarkably neat.
So maybe I can show him. Oh, wait a minute. I bet you he can tell me something about this stuff.
Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I've never seen those symbols. Therefore, they're probably meaningless.
Really? Are you sure?
I am never wrong, Mr. Knight. Therefore, sure is not in my vocabulary.
Wow. He sure is cocky, isn't he? You muted the narration, lady. Did you do it on purpose? The only thing I don't like about her is that she talks so slowly.
We got a fire on our hands.
A dude at me. So he doesn't care anything about that. Give him this
wasn't the right
clay.
hole for that cog.
Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
He's not a geologist. Why would he care about the clay?
Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
You prefer to read it out loud than listen to every... Yeah, she gets kind of annoying, especially when you do this.
This is the first page of inventory.
Thank you for telling me this is the first page of inventory.
This is the last page of inventory.
And I swear that still looks like a colon. That's for Rig. Oh, yes. I forgot. What is the issue with the kata? I don't understand. You'll never play Skyrim or anything like that, will you? Just because of the kata. Is that the deal? Good reason to replay this, Jim. It is a good game. It's fun. I don't like the puzzles, though. This is one of those where I'm kind of on the same page with you. I don't like the puzzles. When is Ooh, Dark Heart of Oakland. Is there anything I can give him? Snake scale, maybe?
Is there anything you can tell me about the voodoo aspects of this photograph?
This is serious voodoo ritual. Nasty stuff.
In what way?
Let's see. I can't make out much detail from this photograph. Except for the corpse, of course. But the wound, the face, and what little I can see of the ritual paraphernalia. Reminds me of certain black voodoo practices. Very rare. I've never witnessed them myself, you understand?
Really? Interesting. Thanks.
So, I'm getting the impression this guy's a bit of a hack. He's not really as knowledgeable as he makes himself out to be.
Oh, yeah!
I'll have 2 number 9s.
Why is Shima not an emote on this channel? That's a good question. That's one of the oldest channel point redeems that I have on this channel, and it's still one of the most active ones. It probably should be an emote.
No, I'm afraid I can't.
This won't be, that's why.
Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
He doesn't know anything about snakes. Of course you do. Now that's an emote. It's a follower emote, but it is an emote. Let's throw a brick at him.
Can you tell me anything about this?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
All right. Did you ever play Return to Zork, Rig? I don't remember seeing you do that one.
Okay, thanks.
Goodbye.
Not yet. It's on the list. Okay, that one's an easy one. I'd say the puzzles in that one are a little easier than this one, but there is a lot of Moon Logic-y stuff in it. And then there's some soft locks, too. A couple of really serious, nasty soft locks. Return to Castle Zorkenstein. Sounds like a game I'd play. We need to go to the drugstore. That's what it was. Imagine Rick playing Zork 1. I think he'd enjoy it. I mean, all Zork 1 is a dungeon crawler where you're not fighting stuff. You had fun with the first, but couldn't figure out how to beat it. Oh, Zork 1, I played it as a kid back when it wasn't brand new. I mean, it was probably 1980, 81, something like that when I played it. So it was still relatively new. It was pretty much fresh. And as a little kid, I loved just, telling him, go east, go west, go north, and just looking at the descriptions and like my little over-imaginative brains just like painting all these pictures and things that I see. And I'm like, oh man, just to see the graphics of this would be really cool. Like, what did it really, I didn't say graphics, it was like what pictures and things would be awesome. Have somebody draw it out or a movie, or something. But what I really, really remembered and had a lot of fun doing was sitting down with the map that came in the box and just like poring over it, because that's the thing that people lack nowadays when they play Zork. The game came with the map. You could see the path to everything in the underground, like when you go underneath the house. And now when you play Zork, you just have to go find the image, so you don't really just have access to it unless you know to go look for it. Yeah, it came with a map. Yeah, it was kind of cool. And I marked the heck out of that map, too, as a little kid. You got lost. And you can make a map, yeah. I mean, you don't have to use the map. Suggestive, but it was good. Like, I marked it, like I said, I marked it up. It was almost like the map was written for you, and you just kind of draw lines from place to place. We don't need no stinking maps when we got a cartographer right here. Especially Greg. I mean, the guy sits there and draws maps like it's nothing. I'll do it if I have to, but I'm not a big fan of it.
Can I ask you just a few more questions?
All over the map. Pretty
Whatever,
much.
man.
Pretty much.
Are you still interested in selling that crocodile mask?
Or you show me $100 and the mask is yours.
And the mask is yours. All right. Well, I'll show you $100.
I have $100. You still want to sell that crocodile mask?
That's $100, sure enough. The mask, it's yours, sir.
Nice. Blink, 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 blink. You don't mean that the map provided wasn't useful, but that you still needed to explore. Yeah, you still needed to explore, but as you explored, it was really easy to update as you went.
Don't bite you now.
Yeah, thanks.
Blowing rent money on cosplay.
Don't you
wants
go
to be
forgetting your lagniappe? A free bottle of Master Gambling Oil.
The sign said I could get Lady Luck oil instead.
Well, I wasn't thinking a man as young as you would be needing that kind of remedy. But if you're having problems with your...
Oh, that's all right. Believe me, I don't need it. I'll just stick with this. Thanks, anyway.
Of course, it ain't none of my business if you do need it.
I don't need it.
Of course you don't.
Wow. You're reminded as a kid playing the NES game Castle Quest. That game came with a map of the entire game with suggested routes to finish it with. Got stuck on the last third of the game due to a dastardly puzzle. Yeah, that's pretty much the way it was. I never finished Zork back then when I was a kid. I don't even know how far I got through it. It's one of those where it's like, I remember finding various items and putting them in the trophy case. And I felt like I probably got several in there at least, but I don't remember what they were. And I didn't finish until about 15 years ago or so. I sat down, Infocom's website was still up, and you could download Zork 1 through 3 for free at the time. It wasn't something you had to purchase. And I remember just downloading it and grabbing a walkthrough and literally walking my way through the entire game. I'm like, I'm going to finish this. I want to see how it ends. In Zork, you got the crystal skull, the scepter, the torch, the diamond, and the pot of gold. I want to say the pot of gold was the one I never got, for sure. But I seem to remember getting the crystal skull. And I know I had the scepter, the torch, and the diamond. So I had those three. Oh, is someone beeping something? Yeah. Coffee's in the kitchen, and she's using the air fryer, and it's beeping. Sorry, it was the mic's picking it up. All right, so I'm going to ask him some questions and see if he wants to talk.
Can I ask you just a few more questions?
Whatever, man.
Nope.
Look, I don't have your answers, B. Do you want to buy something?
Okay, we already got that answer.
What can you...
What kind of snakes?
The kind they use in voodoo?
Pythons and boas. So I've heard.
Really? Do you have one?
Yeah.
Are you crazy? What would I want with a python?
If she's making poppers, which I think is what she was saying she was going to do. No, I not that she can't make good stuff in the air fryer, but I don't like spicy, so I'd say no to that. although it might help my sinus situation.
I've said.
Okay, he's not going to give me any of that.
I never said.
Have you ever heard of...
I don't know much, monsieur.
Thank you so much.
Someone at Voodoo Music.
I'm new here, but got to run. No
it.
problem. Thank you so much, Mike. Glad to see you, and thank you for the feels better. I appreciate that. No, he got an anaconda, and it don't. Let's Monafe. Oh, good. Just making sure it's not something beeping in your head. No, on your end. No bombs or nothing. Just a air fryer.
They're curiosities, no? This is.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting. Do you know anything about Veves?
No, sir. Never heard of them.
Uh-huh.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
Black voodoo? Oh, no such thing, I tell you for sure.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Man, I don't even know what language that is.
And Coffee's channel, it costs points to beep at you. That's pretty funny, Echo. That wasn't what I expected. I don't know who that was, but if Rig gained weight, maybe.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
Man, I don't even know what language that is.
It's important that
I can't tell.
Okay.
Tell me about yourself. How did you get in?
Why should I discuss my...
Now then. You gotta go to the dentist again because there was a sharp spot and I tried to get it away and now I think you broke it. No, but not sure. Hopefully it's not bad. Hopefully it's something they can fix up. You like that guy. He does have an interesting sense of humor. All right. I hate to say it, but I am going to go to the Voodoo Museum and save it, and I'm going to have to call it Platform
Hello,
of
Dr.
Glory.
John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Mr. Wolf. It is a good day to take a nap. All right, so we finally made it to day 3. Glory. Glory, glory, quest for glory. Take it easy. Take it easy. Let's see. Not sure what's next. Whatever. There we go. Hey, I will say at least we're up to 119 points out of 342. Granted, 117 of them are not points I've earned because I either got them from walkthrough or from chat. But, you know. Oh, all right.